I heard you pulled another new unit yesterday.
Hey, don't expose everything. Hey,
I heard this guy's so dark for you.
Hadouken! GZ, Dark Ryu. Dark Ryu is
dude.
That's pretty cool.
Cool, yeah, it's really
See,
cool.
now it's like Com2uS. I was saying yesterday on my stream, I was like, you know what? I think I already made it to Worlds. I'm gonna chill a little bit on whatever, and then they give me that unit. So now it's
did you get it from SF Scrolls or from LD Scrolls?
Where about it, bro? I got it.
Social
It
song.
appeared in the inbox.
I did a summoning jutsu, and it just showed in there.
Fog, dude. Aloha, everybody. Welcome back to another podcast. As you can see, we got a great lineup here today. We have JMak, America's Cup champion. Yeah. We have Trokamoo, America's Cup runner-up. And we have Lucky, Once a Love, and myself, the Papegas, to peanut gallery them up.
Peanut gallery.
The peanut gallery. But welcome, guys, back to the podcast here. Really excited to have you guys on. Of course, we just saw America's Cup just happen. And congratulations to you, Jeff. That was a great showing, and congratulations to you, Troka. Yeah, you guys must be ecstatic, huh? Making Worlds. I mean, isn't that like something on your bucket list to achieve? Let me know your thoughts. We'll start off with the podcast with that then. Yeah, on your thoughts. Yeah, how do you feel? How do you feel, Troka? We'll start with you, man. How'd you feel going into America's Cup and everything now?
Oh, I'm gonna be honest, man. This is like more than a dream, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a nerd like that. So whenever I started playing this game and I started seeing everybody, all the YouTube videos, your videos, Bagel's videos, and they're watching Scott Feeders on Saturdays. I was like, you know what? I need to I like this game. I like the grinding. I like the effort, and it wasn't fairly new, but I knew that I could catch up. So I did, man. And look at me now. I'm going to Worlds.
That's awesome, man. How about you, Jeff?
First of all, quickly say thank you to everybody. My chat is always red now. Everywhere I go, it's kind of interesting, but tons to say because okay. First of all, I gotta clarify this. I did not cry. I ended up watching your whole stream after. I did not cry during the interview. I did not cry. It was more of relief. Fucking Island was like, he's crying. He's crying.
No. I said you were about to cry. Like
no. You said he's crying. He's crying. Is there a tear?
Did I?
Fucking watched the thing.
Well, you were getting emotion though, true or not? Like there was emotions, right? There was a lot of emotions. I could feel you. I can feel the emotion that you were experiencing.
Got you, base.
No, shut up.
Okay, so the main reason is just I played this game for over 5 years now. Started off playing the game because one of my staff members that work for me played the game, and he was like, yeah, I'm so good at the game, showing me this, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna download this game, right? And then every single year since SWC, I've made prelims. Every single years I've took the exit right after that, and just making it into America's Cup was huge for me. But luckily enough, I got lucky and ended up winning the thing.
That's crazy, man.
It's incredible. Anyone who's seen me, I've streamed for almost 4 years now, know that I would say I've been trying, and this year was one of the years that I probably tried the hardest. Lucky. It's kind of weird that I talked about this on my interview as well. It's kind of lucky that there was COVID where I spent a lot more time investing into the game as well, like practicing, playing, and also just tons of friends who helped me along the way.
True. Okay, cool. Let's dive into the topic. Thank you guys for the little short interview from both of you guys. That was really cool. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how you guys do. This is our years. Look very carefully, guys. These are the two faces this year. Yeah, for America's Cup. Yeah, we have a chance. Yeah, one of the few games in the world that has any competitive scene where NA actually has a chance. All right, topic number one here. America's Cup. What's your thoughts? All right, of course, I'm going to be asking here Lucky and Tyler as well, their thoughts. And of course, Jeff and Trokamoo, I'd love to hear from you guys like a little bit more of your experience of America's Cup, like the filming of those little short clips that they have was amazing, as well as maybe some of the things that they sent you. I'm actually interested, right? I heard they sent you like webcams and stuff in preparation for all this. Let's get the behind the scenes information about it. So let's start off with Tyler though. Yeah, we'll start off with Tyler and Lucky on their thoughts of the tournament overall, right? As a kind of a viewer from our point of view.
I'll let you start on that, Lucky, because we did Peanut Gallery together, so I want to hear your thoughts first.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Lucky.
I think look, the tournament was pretty exciting to watch. I think the results kind of went in the way that we thought it was when we did the podcast last week. I kind of at that point in time when we were talking about when it was going to be Ken versus JMak, considering we got Jeff here, I was kind of glad to see how Jeff really approached it, like bringing out Cheongpung and making him really shine. Just showed how strong of a buff that unit was. I think overall it was a really good viewing experience, and I think the results kind of lined up where I thought they were going to go. But yeah,
It was awesome. What was your favorite match out of the America's Cup?
oh, it had to be a Ken and JMak for sure. Like it was just like Jeff's performance there was just absolute domination.
That's
And
crazy.
and because I said at the start, I'm like, if it's all up to Jeff. He's got the upper hand here. Ken has to kind of react to what Jeff's bringing to the table, and it was just too much for him at that point in time. So yeah.
Yeah, that was really awesome. That was really, really awesome. I love that match as well, for sure. How about you, Tyler? What's your general thoughts? I mean, we did the Peanut Gallery together. We, kind of commentated, gave our thoughts, had some fun with the chat, watching the America's Cup, and it was a lot of fun. It was really, really a lot of fun. What were your thoughts overall?
So it really came down to that. Like when Pat had said on the podcast last week, he's like, I think JMak has like a pretty good setup because SWC mode doesn't favor Ken. It's like I should have changed my vote. I thought about it for like the next 3 or 4 days. I was sitting there. I was like, you know what, Jeff's probably gonna win. And I didn't change my vote, but it was interesting to see. I'm a big fan of seeing people who play super clean more than like even matches per se. So for me, watching like Jeff the first 2 matches versus Ken, and then especially the third match versus Joseph, where instead of taking the Jamire last, you took the Daphnis. I was like, this is like exactly what needed to be done, and it was just beautiful drafting. So that for me was the most exciting. I think if we're talking about things that are like the most balanced, like in terms of like closest matches, I really enjoyed watching Trokamoo's matches versus Tree. I felt like there was a point where it could really go either way, and then it really came down to decision making, and then sometimes one proc, depending on it.
True. Yeah, definitely. I agree with that totally. What about you, Jeff? Maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on, now that, the strat's out and, you were able to lay down those very, very fine-tuned, I must say, and prepared and elaborate, 2 drafts that you just completely dominated Ken Baller with, and, you surprised him. I thoroughly, like, if we rewatch it, I'm sure we could probably look at his face and he was probably like kind of like in shock, right? Because he didn't expect it coming, and that's what you want, right? You want to give that shock factor, kind of catch him off guard, and then he's not going to be able to react in time, right? Because 30 seconds of pick and banning is going to go by so quickly, right? Maybe you can elaborate more on your thoughts on how you set that all up and everything.
First of all, fuck you guys. Last podcast we talked about Cheongpung. I think it's the most fucking broken unit in the game right now.
Yeah,
for normal elements. Second of all, going into Ken. Ken is an amazing player, incredible player who has shown so much success this year, not only in SWC but also on the ladder. He's just came off from a Special League Legend, which is nuts, right? Being rank 1. And I guess lucky for me is through preparation and watching and also getting to play him previously. You can figure out how Ken plays, how Ken drafts as well. And I'll just show like some stuff here. I've stacked with players about this much on every single player.
Wow, dude.
It comes down to literally I don't want to show the exact words, but Ken first pick pre-bans and everything. Lucky for me, he did adapt too much and change too much, which I don't. And this is not kind of like attacking him, but why change something when it worked, right? So down to the coin flip, I predicted that if he won, he would take second pick, and it was exactly what happened. From then on, I drew out multiple scenarios. I also asked Chris, make it about Josh, everyone, would this work? And then you gotta think about like how Ken plays, which is put a ragdoll, which is really big in his draft, and they're a way slower comp than usual. I don't want to go against a ragdoll coming in playing bruiser because as the game goes on, he's just gonna take more turns, and more turns equal better chance of proccing and doing a lot more damage, and ragdoll's gonna come out on top.
Right.
Best way, cleave him because he can't take a turn, and if it works, it works. So lucky for me as well, I have a friend who has ranked up Patera on an account. I watched a lot of videos, estimated the speed and how his tuning is, and basically from then on, I just used different comps and different type of cleaves into him. If that makes any sense. So, if you were to have my notes, I think any single person, from pick ban, to drafting to everything else, anyone could play my account and be able to be successful at that point because it was so well scripted in advance.
Right.
There's good and bad things to it. Lucky for me, he did not adapt too much and make too many changes. So I was lucky to come out on top because of that.
That's awesome. So you
also
basically had. Oh, go ahead.
The second game, Com2uS felt really bad about the first Animal game I had and probably just gave it to me because I had 2 huge procs right off the bat and just the game was over turn 1.
Yeah, but that's crazy. So you have notes there for every single potential, I assume, pick that Ken would have done, right? And you have every single pick that you would have done. That's crazy. Like you're like that's what I was saying when we were commentating as well, right? Like this was like so prepared. Like I was just like literally screaming like, "Yo, Jeff, literally prepared." Like you can tell by the speed at which you were clicking and selecting your loot units that you knew this was it. Like you didn't even take 30 seconds to decide on anything. So
your picks were done in like 4 seconds or less. It was literally down to a science. Like you saw a unit and you instantly knew what to pick.
Right.
You could definitely tell like how well prepared he was because even not only picking, just by going and attacking and doing his attack, he was just going with it. It was just pressing, going. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm doing, and this is what I've been training for, and that's it. So I was very, very like impressed because whenever you're sitting down in the chair, you always get that nervous and you always you doubt yourself, even though it's the right thing to do, and you definitely did not show that, man. You just went ham and let's go, let's do it, game over, I'm gonna win this shit. Even versus me, just like that, man. I give it to you, bro. Well played.
Thank you so much. But
yeah,
so by doing that, you actually take out more variables from the game. And you don't want variables if you think you're gonna be successful in the first place, right? You don't want things to change. So yeah, I had it down on paper. It made it feel a lot easier. But throughout the process of going into that month, there's a lot of game footage replays, notes, and the notes that I have right here are final notes, right? On my PC, I have color-coded notes. I don't want to show those, but I have it for every single player ready to go in. So,
that's crazy, dude.
Just a lot of preparation. At the end of the day, it is a turn-based game, and a lot of predictions.
I'm pretty sure you didn't. I don't have a page in there because nobody thought I was gonna beat Tree, man.
I didn't know. I have a page on
You'll be surprised how many messages I got on Discord. Damn, bro. I feel good that you actually, made me wrong on my picks, but I gotta be honest, I did pick Tree, but bro, good play. Bro, I swear to God, I have Chase Cizo, everybody. People would just send me messages. It was funny as shit, man.
On the podcast, I think all of us voted you over Tree. The only argument we had for Tree was that if Tree came out with something that like he knew exactly what he wanted to pick and it was something that was good against you specifically, he would win. But from the way he's been playing the last couple months, we're like, no, I'm pretty sure Troka beats Tree here.
If he was like, if Tree was fine-tuned like how we know he is, his top-notch fine-tuning, I think it would definitely be a run for your money there, and that would have been a pretty intense match, right? But I mean, he didn't come up with anything too crazy. A lot more standard stuff in my opinion. So I think you did very well. Let me hear your thoughts, Trokamoo, of what you thought of the America's Cup. Maybe you can elaborate on how it was when they filmed that little short thing with you, that skit, that video. I thought that was pretty cool, right? They did it for Jeff as well. Let me know how they did that, as well as what they sent you guys. Apparently they sent you guys some stuff in preparation for this, right? Let's get the behind the scenes look of SWC from the players. point of view?
I mean, to be honest, this is like some crazy stuff. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I know I've been last year. I went to the SWC in LA, and then I also went to Worlds in Paris. So I was super excited, and that pumped me. Being on this online stuff is not like it's not that it's not exciting, but just them sending us a laptop, cameras, headphones, all the lighting, like everything. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff, and just to make it as most experience, it was so awesome. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys were actually able to see us live and stuff like that. And I was able to bring Giano, because if not, I'm not gonna bring Giano on the stage, man. That's too much pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I always try to make it fun. I always try to make it random, because I feel like I'm not attacking anybody, but I was the only brown skin there, you know what I'm saying? So I had to be the random guy, bro. So I just had to show it. So just being in that situation with everybody, cameras rolling all the time, it was awesome. The gameplays and everybody did so good. I was surprised that JMak, when he came in with all those like that destroying, it was just an avalanche destroying everybody. What everybody was in the front, and me beating Tree, that was just more exciting. And then once after I beat Purple Panda, I'm not gonna lie, man, I cried off camera. I just went over there and I cried, because I knew that I was going to Worlds, So that by itself, I was like, and the look of my wife, my girl, looking at me, and she knows how bad I wanted it. It was just emotional, and it was just a good time, man. And I can't wait for Worlds.
That's crazy. I knew you were having fun as well. I mean, I knew that the relief was off your shoulders, because you really wanted to make it to Worlds. And the moment you put on Giano, man, that came up. I think that was so much fun, dude. Like, I know it's a competition, it was serious and everything, but it was fun as well, and so we're glad you made it fun for the viewers at the same time. So that was great. That was absolutely great.
I got something new cooking for Worlds, so stay tuned.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Giano V2. Okay, okay.
Don't worry about it. It's coming. Don't worry about it.
I'm excited for that then. Definitely. Because do you guys know if they've confirmed on your end? Or if you can't say, don't say. But it's probably going to be done online as well, right? It's probably going to be the same thing like this, but maybe like a little bit more flashy, a little bit more showy kind of production value that they may do. Or something very similar to what we just saw for America's Cup is what I'm thinking. Right, so there's no live event.
It'll be cool if they can just send us to a center, and like we actually just do it there. Like we actually have to be in the center with everybody, just at least like some different camera crew, and they make it more excited. You know what I'm saying? Than just do it at home, so we can just play ourselves over there. You know what I'm saying? That'll be more exciting.
What they could do is, I mean, I don't know how the logistics is with COVID, right? But I know that they started doing different stuff for Hawaii now. If you come to Hawaii, you have to do a 2-week quarantine. But I think they just recently changed it where if you get tested for COVID and then get the papers and approval, and then you're flying over to Hawaii, you don't have to quarantine. So I don't know if that's something that they can look into, right? Maybe they can do the World Finals with the players. But the only issue is that each player would have to get approval that they don't have COVID in order to get to an area, and there's a lot of liability involved with something like
we
that.
We got time too. There's time to do that.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks, but the only thing is, it depends also what the players what kind of passport they hold. There's some passports that are completely not allowed to be entering. I've been looking into this because I travel a lot for work, and luckily for me, Canadian passports, I'm allowed to go to a lot of places. But if you hold a Chinese passport, and there are going to be Chinese players in the thing, right? They're completely not allowed to land anywhere in North America, or depending who's the host. It's really weird logistically wise, but I would love to be at least with some friends and play it. Like at the end of the day, I'd love to, no matter who wins, I want to go have dinner, go hang out with them. It's an experience on its own, right?
Yeah, look at this guy, this bastard over here. Oh, my passport is better than yours, bro. This bastard doesn't let us over his borders. This bastard doesn't let any of us U.S. citizens go over to Canada. Yeah, not just this guy, though. I think it's they don't allow us to go through, right? Canada still is restricting.
This time, not right now. Borders closed.
We can't get over there, but you can come over here,
I know
right?
That's kind of hard, but what I meant is just like, there's different gaming centers in states, I'm saying, all the states. So maybe to go around one of those and just do it over there, I think would make it more like...
Yeah, but Jeff is saying, like, depending on where you live, right? Because we have people in EU and people all over the world that are the world's, the two from worlds that are going to be coming. They're not allowing other country people to come in. That's the problem. That's the biggest logistical issue, I guess. But I guess we'll see. That's for Com2uS to figure out. Hopefully they just do something fun, exciting, and they give away a free Devilmon. If Com2uS, if you're listening to watch Worlds, yes, that'd be nice. Thank you very much. Okay,
Pro each, one each, one
yeah,
each,
yeah,
one
yeah,
each.
yeah, yeah, 20,
Yeah.
20, 20. Do you guys have any more thoughts on America's Cup? Lucky
Oh.
or Tyler or even Jeff, you wanted to add into any of the spirits here for America's Cup that you guys missed out on?
Luckily enough, I've been able to be contestant every single year, I would say. I think it's a lot smoother now. The company behind Mobion, I think it was, did really well. Like, if you guys watched, a lot of times we had to sit there waiting because we have to be, our face has to be on the screen when the other players are playing. But I would get a message from the person helping me out. It's like, hey, you can cover your camera right now and go smoke. Because they know, like, I'm so throughout the whole thing, I kept on needing to smoke constantly, and
Right.
they were like, oh, you can walk off, because I'm not allowed to smoke on camera. I'm not allowed to have any drinks or other sponsors as well.
Yeah, I saw that. No, like wrapper on your drink. I saw.
Yeah. So one thing I didn't really like though was
That's why we got this right here.
sponsored by Google Play. One thing I really hated was the matches were at noon, right? So we actually start queuing up at 11:45, but we had to meet at 8:30 on Discord.
Wow. So you were up for a while.
I didn't sleep for 40 hours.
That's crazy, dude.
The last night was the most nervous, and I was prepping, and I got to meet up with Josh and Thomas just to talk about, go over stuff that I think would work or whatnot, and just talk to them. And then at 6 a.m., I had to drive them home. Josh lives fucking an hour away from me. Dropped him off so he can go home, and then I had to come back and shower. And by then it was like I'm sitting there like I'm dad trying to focus. So throughout the whole day, all I had was, you guys can't see it, but I had a lot of bang. I had 3 cans of these.
Hey!
That's enough to stop your heart, Jesus.
Hey, IslandGrown, remember the good old days when you're sponsored by this guy?
Yeah, stop showing those energy drinks, bro. Yeah, no. It's all sponsored by G Fuel. Yeah, make sure you use code Island. Actually, no cap. Yeah, look, get a G Fuel, 10% off using code Island. G Fuel, baby. Okay.
Can I have some G Fuel?
Actually, yeah. The cool thing about G Fuel is they're actually giving me a lot of crap to give away. So I can ask them. I can be like, hey, I got some other some of those were content creators, man. Like, let's just get them some G Fuel. Like, I'll talk to them. Like, bro, if they give me free stuff for me and the community, bro, I take that in a heartbeat, man. Especially if I like the product and I'm already using it. You know what I'm saying?
What
anyway.
G Fuel?
And then
it's another energy supplement. Like they give you like energy, like whatever other energy drinks like Red Bull and that kind of
sponsored
stuff.
by
As well.
Grey Goose.
I'm down for Grey Goose.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, you gonna open that? You gonna pop that to celebrate?
I already did.
Oh, you're drinking some? Oh.
Yeah.
Very nice, very
A
nice.
couple of shots for stream after.
So
Alright,
party
let's
at Jeff's house.
Damn, you were drinking and you were drinking and on high energy. Damn, that's crazy.
Oh, if you guys actually know, my preparation in the morning. So after every for prelims, America's Cup, and everything, I do have a ritual. I copied this ritual from a friend. So because of nerves and like shaking and whatnot, I do take 2 shots before every match. Just 2 small shots, and then I also play a song. I blasted full volume. So Island, Jason and all of them before their CS:GO match, they always play fight song. So I took that and actually play that song and take 2 shots every single time.
Oh well,
So
it worked.
the ritual that I've decided to do.
Well, it worked. So hey.
Sir, I have a question to ask. Are you drunken?
That's Obabo, and I hope Obabo's not drunken next week.
Yeah, we'll see.
That's so funny though. It's a good ritual.
Just something that you can have fun with, right?
Yeah, help you de-stress a little bit. Kind of, get a little de-stress to prepare yourself. That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. All right, let's go to move into topic number 2. Yeah, a topic that Jeff didn't like us talking about last week while he was preparing. The question is, what monster shined the most in SWC, and why is it Cheongpung? That's literally the question. That's literally the question.
Sierra. Sierra popped off.
I mean, Sierra popped up, but
anytime somebody got a first turn Sierra proc, the match was almost completely over.
Does so much damage, dude. So much damage. But talking about Cheongpung here, let's elaborate a little bit more. I mean, it's out of the bag now, right? Everybody's seen it, and I mean, people are already talking about it already. Everybody saw it in RTAs. Nobody doesn't know about Cheongpung right now. You know what I'm saying? Now, you don't have to say the secrets to Cheongpung and whatnot and how you used it, but your overall thoughts on him. Yeah, and how crazy he got. Just from a simple small buff. What was a small buff again? It's just defense break on the S2, right? Is that all they
And
had?
75%, 75% on third.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so never mind. That's
What was it before?
50.
50.
Yeah.
So
It
you
was. It's OP now.
It's not only that, it's the accuracy check on that too. Like if you have him at 80, 85, it doesn't miss, not even on fire. Like everything just goes back, bro. It's just so nasty.
When
like,
you push that much attack bar, it's like even if you miss twice, you still do so much.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just need one, and that's it.
all you need is one. Yeah, if you get another one, you get an extra increased cool time, and then that's even more broken right there. So having him always go first with S2, and then having something to boost attack bar on him, or just a proc. That's it. No, so what? There's nothing that like I could tell you what's not good about him.
I can tell you what's not good about it.
About it. It's still good.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Watch my if you watch my replays, and I did review it. I actually missed quite a bit, and I was on. I missed quite a bit, and it's still broken as shit.
Let me ask you a question: Is your jump on 100 assist?
With the Hathor League, yes.
Wow, that's the
Because I haven't
small
played it,
calculations that actually.
Oh,
That's
add
actually a
up.
pog.
Yeah.
I mean, with Hathor League, it is, and also my Vertihau is on Triple Revenge, by the way.
Yeah,
you know,
it's always been triple revenge.
No. Chris kept on going like, it's so fast, it's not on Triple Revenge, but my Vertihau on the last match was on Triple Revenge. No, the first match. Although I did win that one, it took a long while for it to proc, but it is what it is, part of the game, right? You're gambling on 45%.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, Cheongpung is just absolutely
It's
crazy,
awesome,
man.
dude, man.
You know what's
I love
what's interesting as well? Do you guys feel this way? Maybe it's just me, right? Because I'm not used to Cheongpung yet. I haven't seen as much Cheongpung, right? I see it there. I see people draft. I see it's in their picks and bans. But like when it's on the field, do you sometimes forget that he's on the field after the first rotation? And then after that, once he takes his turn and he does his S3, right? You're just like, oh my god, Cheongpung's right there. Like he just like obliterated your opponent. You know, like it feels different on the field because you're not used to it being used and whatnot. I don't know that I cannot explain it though. But that's the best
If
way
you're
I can try to
playing
explain it.
RTA, after the first time he obliterates you, you never forget. You never ever forget how badly you got obliterated. I killed like half the guy's team, and his Cheongpung moved, and then his Savannah moved, and my whole team died. And I was like, all right, well, that's just how it is. Because he goes skill 2 defense break into the Savannah skill 3, pushes everyone back. By the time the next turn comes back because he has speed buff, he just pushes my attack bar to 0, and then Savannah moves, everyone's just dead. I'm like, all right, well, I just got 2v4'd.
Yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
pretty
pretty
good.
He actually just obliterates you.
He's a top 2-3 picks just because of the strip. If he didn't have the AoE strip with the difference break, he would be okay. So I think what really just makes him like shine to like top 2-3 picks is just the S2, and now that he got buffed, so that's even better. Because as if there's not that many AoE strips, units. Now they brought all this out, so they had at least one has to come out being good. Because I have the dark one and he's garbage.
Yeah,
he's not
you
garbage.
just pulled a dark one? I saw you play on stream yesterday.
Yeah, I pulled it like 2 weeks ago.
I heard you pulled another new unit yesterday.
Hey, don't expose everything. Hey,
I heard this
don't
man pulled a
expose.
dark Ryu.
Hadouken!
GZ, Dark Ryu. Dark
That's
Ryu
crazy,
is
dude.
That's
pretty cool.
Cool, yeah, it's really
See,
good.
now it's like I was saying yesterday on my stream, I was like, I think I already made it to Worlds. I'm gonna chill a little bit on whatever, and then they give me that unit. So now it's
Did you get it from
come
SF Scrolls or from LD Scrolls?
Don't worry about it, bro. I got it.
Social
It
summon.
appeared in the inbox.
I did a summoning jutsu, and it just showed in there.
Fog, dude. I mean, I'm excited. You know why? Because you actually have Gianna, and once that thing gets into RTA, like, bro, like, can we all agree, chat? Like, that's toxic, is it not? Gianna and Dark Ryu, like, I'm sure you're probably using Guild Wars in Arena right now. It's like gross, dude.
It's gonna be broken.
It's so
I have to
gross.
say something quickly. Trokamoo, I didn't see your message, and then I saw it after. He messaged me. He's like, "Hey, do you want to do all 5 LDs? That 5? Even if I wanted to, I couldn't. I don't have 5 LDs."
I messaged him on when we were going to go in the first match. I was like, "Yo, let's make it fun. Let's go all LDs 5. People are gonna love that shit." And he messaged me about like 7 hours later after we were drunk and stuff. Man, I just saw your text messages.
Yeah, but I don't have 5 LD net 5, so it would be pretty cool. But I would probably get my ass handed to me with Gianna, Nyx, Asima. But no, I don't have 5. I don't have 5 LD net 5.
I'm telling you guys, there's an Exodia comp brewing, and like every time I talked about it, people are always like, nah, that Exodia comp is still beatable and whatnot. But I'm telling you, bro, all you need left, Trokamoo, is I think you have all the regular element nat 5s for the variations of the Exodia, but you just need a Nephthys, bro. Because the Nephthys, Gianna, Dark Ryu, man, in RTA, like that with, 2 flex picks, man, like Chi-Woo, or it doesn't matter, right? The double strip, double speed lead, right? Like it's I think it's almost impossible to beat, dude.
Nephthys, Nyx, Ryu, and Asima.
I don't know.
All you need, Jeff, is when he picks all those units, just pick Vero.
Very much.
And
you better hope that 45% goes back.
Might as well give Trokamoo a Han at this point, right? Might as well just do icing on the cake.
If I get a hand, OP.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Hey, Com2uS, you listen, right? You listen to your people right here. They told me a hand and Nephthys. Come on.
But I think you're right. I think you're right, Troka, about the buff to Cheongpung, right? Because I think they could honestly just change it his third skill only, and people would already be using him. But the addition to the second skill as well, having that strip with a defense break, actually just makes him, that much more of a pick than just like a normal pick. So I'm really excited to see how many people fight for it this WC. What's your thoughts?
How many strippers have a strip armor break?
2.
Is he the only one?
Cheongpung and Gemini, right?
Yeah.
Eludia counts too.
Eludia.
Yeah.
So he's in a pretty prestigious group now, and with how powerful that third skill is, it's just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, that buff was kind of a bit overpowering, to be honest. I think they could have left out the armor break and just kept it on third, and that would have been fine.
Right.
So in terms of getting a defense break on strip, we actually talked about this, I think, about a year to a year and a half ago on the podcast. We talked about what makes strippers good, because people were always wondering, like, Chi-Woo versus Triton. It's when Chi-Woo got buffed, right? Everyone's like, do I use Chi-Woo? Do I use Triton? And we discussed the reason that Chi-Woo is so much stronger now than he was before is because he doesn't just strip anymore. He strips and has something, right? Any unit that just strips is not usually that good, but units that strip and have something are great. Like, Chi-Woo has speed lead and attack bar reduction now, and additional attack bar reduction. Before, it was Triton had the speed awakening and then pushback, right? Okay. So, like, now that you give Cheongpung a strip that defense breaks of all skills, like, these units just become infinitely stronger, like, really fast.
But
right?
I think it's very dangerous for Com2uS to go down that path where making everything AoE super strong. It's I think it's a little too much. It's a little overwhelming for the meta in general. Because of this Cheongpung buff, the game is going back towards speed meta more than ever, and I personally don't like that. I think I'll be fine, but I don't think it's good for the ladder in general.
Yeah.
I think the most prevalent speed meta issue is the fact that we have these units that are getting buffed into positive, like, AoE first turn setups, but we also have something called speed additional damage, which is ridiculous as a stat and is probably the strongest stat in the game now. Like, your Okeanos, I don't think is on crit damage. I assume it's on, like, really high additional speed because it was tanky and it does a ton of damage because additional damage by speed is an insane stat.
All the top players have majority of their Okeanoses on additional damage. It's pretty gross.
Mm-hmm.
Like, probably one of the grossest ones I've seen so far is Make It a Bud's one. I think his one is actually legit, like, disgusting. Like, it just AoEs, and bro, it's like the opponent doesn't have defense break. It just takes so much damage. You're just like, what? How the heck? It's just so much damage.
Don't give don't give Chris a Cheongpung any time.
Oh, bro, you give a Cheongpung, dude? It's over, dude. It's over.
Yeah, additional damage, and I have to quickly say I have to commemorate. I have to go, like, Joseph runes are nuts. When my Sierra went into that thing, I was like, holy fuck, it didn't die.
Oh, your Daphnis into the Sierra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then putting the shield set on the Josephine disrupts Okeanos really well. So And I do admit that I did play very wrong, where I instead my better should have boosted up the Han to kill the Sierra. Then I actually could have probably win that last match.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
The first match against him. It is a play mistake. One thing that Josh watched it after, and although people are like, "Oh, Jeff, congrats, you won. You did pretty well." Josh was just shitting on me. He said, "Misplays, misplays, misplays." The only reason why you won was because other people misplayed more than you. Josh literally said that to me.
That sounds like Josh.
But
That's kind of how the game is though. Like when you play at the highest level, it's who fucks up the most, right?
Yeah.
So he's like shitting on me like, "Oh, you didn't play well." I'm like, "Okay, well, fuck you too."
Yeah, I mean,
who's going to win, Josh?
I'll be honest though, every single year, I mean, if you watch the first year till now and you watch the drafts and how bad they were and how much mistakes were made from the drafts to the play, like the players just get a lot smarter, right? Everybody's just getting a lot smarter. So you really have to min-max and make sure that you don't make any mistakes to give yourself the optimal chance. So it's cool. It's really cool, man.
For sure.
Cool.
And I'm glad my friends do point out that I misplay, because that's how you learn, right?
Right.
That's how you improve, especially if you want to continue to be successful in the tournament. I wish I will be successful. I don't know. And I'm glad Trokamoo's on the complete opposite side of the bracket. After watching China qualifiers, I'm not too worried about last at the moment. I'm kind of watching how APAC unfolds. Skit's going to be there.
Yeah, that should be this weekend.
Chami. Subaka is also extremely strong. So we'll see what's going on. And Gaia, right? Gaia has insane runes.
Definitely.
So,
yeah, we'll be watching that this week. Actually, are you available? I might ping some of you guys up. Maybe we'll do a late night peanut gallery if you want. I don't know if you're gonna be up though. That's pretty early morning for you, but I'm assuming you might watch it or watch a replay of it, Jeff, right?
What time is it at?
It's gonna be 2 a.m. my time. That's 5 a.m. your time. Start.
The time when I start.
I think that's your usual like night owl time. That's why I'm like I was asking.
Is it on?
I was like, maybe.
Is it on Friday or Saturday?
It's gonna be on Saturday morning. It should be about 5 a.m. PST and it's 2 a.m. Hawaii time. I believe. I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that's the time it is. So
that's when I go to sleep, dude.
I know, dude. Yeah, I usually go to sleep at around like. Actually, I go to sleep around like 3 or 4, so it's not too bad.
Just let me know. We can talk about it.
Yeah, maybe we do a deal for Peanut Guy with you and Josh again. It's always kind of fun how we just like shit on them and trash talk them.
What Thomas said. Gaia looks like he'll fuck me up if I don't vote for him. Do you see the picture of Gaia?
No,
he looks like he will come and fuck you up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta see.
You gotta open it in game, Brian. It's pretty funny.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
You gotta open it. It looks scary. He looks scary.
You can show it on stream after the podcast.
Yeah, show us after the podcast here, but I'll take a look myself as well. All right, I'm really excited to see how this SWC unfolds. I will say again, back to the America's Cup. Probably, in my personal opinion, I don't know what you guys think as well. If you guys are watching, leave your comments down below, right, of things you want suggested or comments, and let me know what you think if the America's Cup was the best, because I thought that was the most enjoyable all-around cup that we have seen so far. Like, just like the best. Like, just a lot of everything from luck to skill to just domination. It just had a little bit of everything in that tournament. It was insane. Absolutely insane.
The tournament's at 8 p.m. APAC for you guys.
It's only 8 p.m. That's not bad.
Let me see. Yeah, when is the tournament for?
8 p.m. PDT, October 31st.
8 p.m. PDT. That's a 5 a.m. for me, bro.
No, that's 8 a.m. 8 a.m. or 8 p.m.
Oh, 8 p.m.
8 p.m. is 5 p.m. for you, Alan.
That's fine.
Wait,
it's like 1 a.m.
what day
for me.
is what day is the 31st? The 31st. Oh, it's a Saturday. Oh, that's Saturday evening.
Hi, Josh. Good morning.
That's Saturday evening. That's not bad at all.
Because it was the shortest. Josh is
Okay.
toxic.
I don't know why Josh is awake.
All right. All right, let's go ahead and move on to topic number 3 here. Yeah, very good. Here we go. Why is Fate Mem so bad at TFT? Oh, shoot, sorry. Wait, that's the wrong one. My bad. What's up, Josh? Hey, man, just thanks for joining. My bad. The wrong one. There we go. All right, there we go. RTA system. How can we suggest improvements? All right, so this is a topic that we've actually been talking about for quite some time now, right? Let's be real.
Quickly first. Can I say something really quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sure tons of people watched the bagel video, first of all, and my name got brought up really early in the video. And first of all, I want to clarify. I did not. First of all, I do not farm points, and I think most people know this. Second of all, I did not drop ranks for, as much as you guys want to give me credit to make it like show that the system is bad. All I did was I thought it was funny as shit to come into the fucking tournament at the lowest rank possible, and if I get to win, like beat Guardian 3s, I thought it was funny. Okay,
you did it twice, right? You did. I remember I covered it on the qualifiers,
so,
which is funny.
I do understand the problem behind it, but like I said, I basically went in and quit out. I gave probably 70, 80 wins to people in that lower level. I know it's kind of weird because it does suck when I climb back up, but I just did it as a joke, okay? I did not do it in any malicious way. I'm not doing it to farm points. I don't care about the points. So I just see this really clearly right now because I've been getting a lot of messages like, oh, you did a great job pointing out the system issue, but I do agree the system does have issues, and I think we should talk about it right now.
Yeah, I mean, so going back to that as well, I mean, if you go back to all our podcasts, we've been talking about this for how long now? Probably like over a year. Would you say, Lucky, Tyler? I mean, even Jeff, like on the podcast, like I've always brought it up, like maybe at least once a month to like talk about suggestions, things that we can do. And, you know, with Com2uS, I mean, we got to give them credit when credit's due, right? They've been doing a good job and whatnot, but we got to give them shit on like the stuff that they're taking too long to fix and look at. You know, maybe you know, a public response would be great or something, but we would love these suggestions to be heard to make the game better. So we're gonna take the time today here to talk about the RTA system and how we can suggest to improve it. Now, one thing I want people to kind of understand and realize is that it's not easy to fix, right? You might sit at home and be like, oh, just do this. It's so easy. It's not, right? Every competitive game, every ranked game out there has an issue with smurfing. I would say they have more issues with smurfing in other games because people can make a brand new account and smurf the hell out of it, out of all those other games, compared to Summoners War, right? Now, Summoners War has, of course, less players, right? But, you know, they have to have a good account to be able to smurf technically. So what can we do and what can we suggest to kind of bring this knowledge and talk about this smurfing, point farming issue to make RTA more enjoyable for everybody? Right, I'm sure we got a lot of different suggestions here. I'll let anybody start off. Go ahead.
So I think it comes down to figuring out what people actually want, right? People are like, I don't want to play against higher ranked players. And then you ask them why. And they're like, I don't want to get demolished by somebody. It's like, okay, why? Are you trying to climb? Are you trying to finish in a certain rank? Are you trying to buy this specific item? What is it that you actually want from RTA? Because every time I ask somebody this when they complain about it, I say, what do you want from RTA? And the answer that I always get is, I don't want to get smashed by stronger players. And at one point, yeah, I get it. If you're like a fighter 1 getting smashed by Guardians, that sucks and that's imbalanced. But if you're in Conqueror 3 getting smashed by Guardian 1, Guardian 2 players, that just happens. Like, and that's kind of part of the game as well, right? You also have to remember that there are people who are literally climbing from where they started. So we have this issue where people get looped into both sides, right? There are players who are abusing the fact that they're a lot stronger than weaker players, but there are also players who get like called out for like, oh, you're just like farming noobs, when it's like you're climbing the ladder, or you're like trying something new, or you're like just doing something different. Like in the last week, I've played 5 different drafts with like completely different units, completely different things, like things that don't make sense. I've been using Gemini Teshar, I've been using like Chiwu Lure, like things that literally just don't work or aren't that good. And I've been dropping rank because of it. And then people come into the stream and they're like, oh, I can't believe you smashed that guy. Like, are you just farming points? It's like, no, I'm just trying to play the game and have fun. So what it comes down to, in my opinion, is at what point is it like your fun versus somebody else's fun? Because I feel like that's where the big argument comes down to a lot of the time. It's like, I'm not having fun because these players are destroying me. And it's like, okay, yeah, if they're farming you, I get it. It sucks, right? But what if they're just like trying something different?
That's a factor to think about as well. That's true, right? We always talk about people farming, but we don't factor in the people that are just testing or trying things out as well. That's true. Now, let's before we go too far, then let's try to cover that. I think a good solution for that, Tyler, is maybe they need to make their quick play a little bit more appealing, right? Do you know there's a button that you can do for RTA that will quick find you a exhibition match, right? No points, it's just a normal exhibition match. I believe it is, right? If you check RTAs.
So you can
like
goodwill match
right?
an exhibition match.
Yeah.
But the difference is not playing on ladder. is going to have a different effect on the experience, right?
I
You're
agree.
playing for a rank,
I agree.
people will take it seriously. That's like in Noob Room, people don't take it seriously very often. Like there's a couple people in there who try really hard, but there's a lot of players in who just do whatever they want.
Right.
I use Noob Room just.
I mean, to be honest, there's that shouldn't be a problem, because if you're gonna cry because you got smashed by somebody else that is better than you, then all you gotta do is just be better than him next time. Keep grinding, keep going. That's the fun of the game, because there's always somebody that's gonna get outlogged or outpowered. So I mean, if you don't like that, then this is not the game for you. Then
But
go play.
now they're gonna say, oh, but that guy has like way better runes and units than me, right? The thing I find is that what you're saying is true.
I've had smashed by C3s and C2s, like destroyed.
Same.
Like what you're saying is
You know
true,
what
but
I'm
the
saying?
thing is
Like that shouldn't be a problem. And I'm just listen. Last season, I dropped almost 300 points. I was ranked like 20. I went all the way to rank 500, getting smashed by C3s and C2. Why? Because they will proc out of stun, they will proc out of everything, they will proc out of ninjas, do backflips, they will do everything. But it's a lot of procking. But it happened. So I mean, when I used to beat G3 players and I was a C3 player, bro, I was super excited. I thought I was a shit.
Yeah.
People.
So that I just feel like that should never change. If you don't like that, then just go play, invite a friend to play with you, so you can smash him.
People always complain about the matchmaking. They're always like, the matchmaking is unfair because I'm getting pulled by someone who's like way stronger or way weaker and stuff like that. And I think that the issue in that lies within most likely the reward system more than anything else. People blame the matchmaking system, but I think it's actually the incentive to do RTA, right? The matchmaking naturally balances itself out based on the number of players that actually play. So if you have a really, really large population of players that are playing, generally what happens is you get less, you have less issues where a really high ranked player is playing a really low ranked player, right? Because there are tons of players to fill out every individual like ranking bracket and section. So when you have no incentive for people to play, like for example, I don't want to play competitively in RTA in the early season because it's stressful and it's just a waste of time. There's no weekly rewards. There's no reason for me to actually get points unless I just really want all the scrolls every week. I'd rather just play and have fun, right? Do what I want and then just like mess around with things. Sometimes I win, sometimes I lose. And at that point, it's like, if there was an incentive for me to try and win every single time, then I'm sure that I would sit within a bracket that I regularly play in the entire season. But there's no reason for anyone to do that because there's no incentive until the last 2 weeks. We've also reverted the RTA system in many ways. So the point system has changed over the last 3 years in the way that it used to be, if you played in the last 2 weeks, you could get whatever rank you were if you were good enough because your win rate was super, super indicative of how many points you could gain. And then they changed it so that it was kind of less like that. And then they changed it where it was you have to grind the whole season to get a rank. And recently they changed it back where you have to actually play and win high win rates. So you need that like 56% win rate to get G2. You need that like above 55% win rate to get it now. Whereas a couple seasons before, it was like you could get it with 47% if you played enough games because of the point inflation. So the issue lies within the number of players, the rewards, and the point system. But inherently, the issue really comes down to like, what do I consider fun? What do I not consider fun? Like if I go into a match and I'm destroying somebody and I feel like, you know what, I'm just going to let this person have the points because, they're one game out of G1 or something. Maybe they want to buy some wings and I quit that match. It's like I gave that guy points and I'm like, okay, cool. Now maybe he can buy the wings that he might have been looking for. But somebody on the other side's like, wow, you're literally just de-ranking. It's like no matter what you do when you play the game, there's always going to be somebody who sits there and tells you whatever your decision was is wrong. And it just comes down to a pride and a personal perspective thing, right? If I throw a match to somebody because I'm like, oh, they're so close to that rank. Maybe they're just trying to get it once so they could buy something. And then I get flamed for throwing because I'm purposefully deranking. It's like, all right. So do you want me to just shit on everybody with no remorse? What do you want? You want whatever you want and nothing else. Anything anybody does that might possibly disagree with that is wrong.
What about you, Jeff?
Can you elaborate on this? Because obviously, last season I did not do many wings, and I was sitting at stone rank for the whole season.
You sound really far, man.
I'm not farming people, right? But on my way climbing back up to G3 to get the end season reward, there's gonna be some casualties, right? There's nothing you can do about it. But the biggest thing, and I agree with Tyler, is there's no reward for being high ranked throughout the whole seasons. So 2 days before season end, and I'm sure a lot of people saw my replays and whatnot, I climbed from stone rank in 2 days all the way to top 300. Win rate was nuts, but I was able to pull it off. But I do that because there's no reason for me to grind out 30 wins unless I'm doing content for stream. There's literally no reason. But if you give me a reason to stay high ranked or continue doing more, whether it's better rewards or even midweek reward, weeklies that would make me want to do more wings, I will fucking do it. It could be cosmetic, it could be a devil bot or something like that. But then as we talked about this on Reddit, someone's like, yeah, then you're just forcing people to do RTA. Like, you can't please everyone. It's been pissing me off. I stopped reading Reddit for that reason. But if Com2uS just balance makes I guess reasons, events or something like that for people to do wings, all the problems that you see here, not all, but most of it will be gone because there's reasons for people to stay at a higher rank.
Yeah, but the thing is that people will just go up and then go down and go up and will go down technically, right? Like if you're a G2 player, right? And you want to farm, you're going to farm down low and then you can just farm back to G1 in the end of season, hit G2, you know what I mean? Like the reward is still good enough for them. So they need to
devil's advocate on that though.
It all comes to the stress that you want to be because you can win until the last minute, but what happened if RNG shit on you and then what you gonna do?
Most of those players
you're not gonna climb.
No, they still hit G1, G2 by end of season. I mean, it's not like right now. You can just do it for the entirety of the first 2 months, and you still have the ending month to get back to your rank, right? It only takes if a G2 player is a real G2 player, probably take them a set of a week of wins or less than a week of wins to get back, right? Because there's no punishment on the amount of gain loss you get the more matches you play, you know what I mean? Like the amount of gain loss, let's say League of Legends or whatnot, when you play that, if you play 1,000 matches, bro, you're gonna start noticing your win loss, you only get a little bit of LP now, right? Compared to what was before, because they factor in that's probably your rank because you've done 1,000 matches down there. Now that would be tougher to get back to your rank, right? If that was the case, but it's not the case here in Summoners War, right? As we've talked about before. So, what about you, Lucky? Did you have anything to add in as well?
I don't know if you guys remembered back then, there was hidden, kind of like the hidden MMR and Summoners War as well, where if I did more games, and I've done this, I've climbed to super high G3 and then I lost and I could not climb back up to G3. I've done it myself as well. So I do see the problem. So they got to figure out, I guess, a balance of that, right? So you got to see, at the end of the day, they got to make it, to me at least, they got to make it worthwhile for me to keep a G3 rank or G2 rank on a regular basis throughout the whole season. Otherwise, I'm not going to do wings unless I'm streaming. And there's tons of players out there that aren't streaming and just doing it for the skin season reward, right? So yeah, that's how I feel at least.
I think the major issue here is that right now, when it comes to RTA, the only rewards are there for top 10% of players. So that's probably one of the issues already.
Top 2.5%.
Is it top
plus?
Isn't it
I would say C3 plus is really all it is, right?
I mean, technically, people strive to get to Conquer it so they get some sort of aura to represent that season. Right?
That's fair. I'd give it 10% then. You're right. You're right.
So I would say, I mean, it's still a very small portion of the player base, right? So I think the major issue lies there, and as you guys already pointed out, there is no real reason to play RTA earlier on in the season. But I think the major issue a lot of players are facing for the guys that are autoing through RTA and kind of starting a fight and putting their device to the side and letting it play out for a result. And I think AFK farming is probably more of an issue because the last thing you want to do is, if you're really people are really trying to break into RTA, but the last thing you want to do is sit there and watch someone auto pick out their entire team, end up fighting them, seeing them have, last season's Guardian aura, or even it might have even been a few seasons ago, but then getting absolutely destroyed because of rune quality. And I think it kind of discourages people to want to play RTA because there are people that are just playing their way through. So for me, I think from a lot of feedback I've received, the issue isn't really around, the active Guardian players not playing or sitting in the low ranks, because those guys, people that are actually actively playing to get to Guardian will only climb in those last couple of weeks, and they'll only be in the fighter or low conqueror ranks for a day. Like you might go from placements to like C3 in day one, and then the rest of your fighters from C3 to G3, right? So the major issue is around for the guys that are just constantly playing throughout the season. Well, I say playing, but really just sitting their device on the side and not giving the best experience for people that are actually trying. So what can Com2uS really do to resolve that sort of issue?
Just the play button, right? Just the play button.
Yeah, I think the play button needs to go, and I think people should be penalized for autoing in RTA. Like autoing in the sense that they're not actively playing. I think you should be able to auto after a certain point in the game. Let's say, for example,
no autos in RTAs. I think.
Yeah, but then why am I farming and getting better runes than everybody else? Then, if I'm doing that myself and I'm showing the results, then I can power abuse because I put the time and the effort. Now I feel like with this multi, like 10 runs, everything. I feel like now nobody has the excuse to actually farm and get good runes. Because I'm not gonna lie, I've gotten like 2-3 triple rolls on running dungeons in a week. And back in the day, that would take me months, probably even longer. So I feel like now people are gonna have the quality of runes. So I feel like the next season coming up is actually the real people that actually farm are gonna shine, and the people that like to complain are still gonna stay complaining.
You think the thing is that that's interesting you say about people that complain. I just thought about this though, that I wonder how many people complain about the RTA system, right? First off, because it is a problem. Complain about the RTA system, complain that they're getting smashed by people better than them, but they're actually papegas. Like, I'm no disrespect, but I think there's actually just bad players out there. They don't know how to play the game. They don't know how to rune their units. They don't know what speed tuning is, right? They might be a fighter 3 playing against a conqueror 1, and they should be able to beat the conqueror 1, but they just play it bad. They draft bad, and they don't know how to play RTA, and they blame it because the opponents are better than them, right? I think there is going to be a group of those players as well, and I think those players need to realize that, you just gotta get good, honestly, as well, right? Not to take away
from the man, bro.
Right, not to take away from the issue of the RTA, not to take away from that issue. There is an issue with it of people smurfing and whatnot. But I think sometimes when the rank disparity is not a large gap, I would consider Fighter 3, C2 not a large gap. There is a way to win, right? Are you telling me that if you gave a top player a Fighter 3 account that is runed correctly, right, versus a C2 that they can't get a chance or if not beat them? I think you're wrong. I think you'd actually be wrong, right? So there's a factor of knowledge that's also in there as well that nobody wants to admit, right? Easily people just want to say, he just higher ranked than me. So that's
nobody
why
wants to admit it because the only time you see that is people who are boosting.
Yeah, or they have
You literally see that when somebody pays somebody to boost them. Like, that's exactly what that is. That's where you see it the most.
Yeah.
So I did see one thing on Reddit. It's like, I'm fighting people with a lot of LDs. They shouldn't be fighter. Why the fuck can't fighter have 5 LD monsters? That's one thing that I sit there like, rank doesn't mean that.
I got a C3 with Jahan, Ragdoll, Gianna, and Arda, bro. C3. And I destroyed him.
Yeah. What about me? I'm G2. I have no LDs. Can I have one?
Yeah,
do I deserve one now because of that logic?
But do you see how that opens up? Like, the problem stems more than just like the RTA system. I think it's the RTA system and the player base that we need to work together and understand and give good suggestions to fix it. And I can tell you right now, if Com2uS does that, that's great. But there's still the player side that needs to be fixed as well. And we can't do we have to do that. People have to get better at the game. People have to learn to play better and how to draft better. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a part of the game as well. Go ahead, Jeff. I cut you off.
On Reddit, there's always posts like, I'm in Fighter 3. These guys have all these LDs. They are farming because they can't be here because they have all these LDs. I'm like sitting there like, dude, Josh and like Tyler doesn't have LDs and they're in Guardian ranks, right? So LDs, first of all, have nothing to do with rank. I'm gonna say this first. But even then, if you watch the China Cup, someone got beat by Lulu Rakuni. I'm not gonna say who, but you know what?
Well, obviously we know who.
But like, how many LDs does play have, right?
I think there's worse problems in RTA and the game itself than having to improve, RTA climbing system or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because they still try to fix the 12%, but I still get everybody 5 turns 12%. So what is that bullshit? You know, I think there's even bigger problems than just, you know, people that are not really playing the game and complaining about something that they don't really care much. Because if you really care about something, by next season you will be better, you know. Because when I climb from C3, G1, G2, G3. You know what I'm saying? I didn't stop. I just kept going. Right. So I feel like there's bigger problems than just saying, "Oh my God, I got smashed by somebody that is better than me."
Yeah. So that's
you know, it's like me stepping in the going to fight Conor McGregor in the ring or somebody like that. You know, I'm gonna get fucked up, right?
All right. Are you ready for a sick idea? There's a couple ideas that I've been thinking about. They tackle different issues inherently. The first one is meant to tackle the incentive issue. So I think that first of all, I think that you should get 1 point on loss. I think you should get 1 RTA glory point per loss. Just to play your wings, right? I also think that there should be a Devilmon in the RTA shop once per month, and it should be really cheap. And the reason it should be really cheap is because it should be accessible to everybody. 12 extra Devilmons every year is 1 extra built unit per year, right? That's extremely reasonable. That is very, very reasonable to say, to give 12 Devilmons in a 1 year period.
I'm going to cut you off for 1 second right there on that. Com2uS, whether it's logic or not, Com2uS already stated they're not going to put Devilmons in RTA shop. It's kind of like your mom and dad already telling. But I'm just saying they did state
okay. They've also stated other things that they've done afterwards.
No. They stated they're not touching crit animations. They stated they're not letting you fuse highs to mids and mids to lows. These are things stated from a while ago that
yes,
they would never
they also stated that there would never be any pay to win mechanic for Dimensional Hole. Yet 2 weeks later, we could buy Dimensional Hole energy with crystals.
Yeah. Well, no. They said there were no packs being sold for Dimensional Hole. Go rewatch it.
No, they
packs.
In that specific update, they said there would be no
packs.
purchases
They said there was no
for
packs because
Hole.
the question was about packs, and there's no packs. There was no packs, and
yeah.
I'm holding them on
that. They also said no auto
packs.
farming for a long time.
Right? They also said no.
My point is, regardless of the things that you say, you in every situation you can very well be like, you know what, we've reconsidered it, and we would like to put something forward, right? Like companies know now that making a decision and saying, you know, back in the past, we firmly believed this. However, we've decided that this would actually be a good idea for the health of our game and the welfare of our players.
Wait, did they say
I think that Com2uS is a good example of that.
I don't think they ever said no auto farm before. They said that currently at this time we're not looking into that. That's different from saying no. All the things I've stated
way back in the past.
Everything I've stated in the past, they said no, right? But I mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody can look it up and bring it up because I kind of remember those because I always listen in. They have I think. What do you guys think of this? They should have more of those press conference Q&As. I love those. Those are where the answers I'm hearing from. These are the official answers from them, right? It's from the Q&As. So do
you remember it was 2 or 3 years ago at SWC? It was Skit streaming the Korea. There was a Korea press conference.
Yeah.
That's where they said it. That's where they said it.
Oh, really?
They refused it. They refuted the idea entirely.
They said no auto farm, or they said at this time we are currently not looking into doing. No,
they said no auto farming.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually, I don't remember. Okay. So,
well, that's one of the.
I think they should have more town halls like a lot of games do. Korean companies do that. I played a lot of games where they have these town halls, and it's really nice because you get to see the pipeline and what's their goals. At the end of the day, this is Com2uS' cash cow, and whether it's Com2uS or even streamers or players that have invested so much into this game, we want the game to grow, right? We want this game to last another 2, 3, 4 years, right? Mm-hmm. And Com2uS knows this. This is their biggest game, their biggest IP. They want to get every dollar possible out of it, and there's nothing wrong with that. So Com2uS wants to see this game continue to succeed, and I think they're continually to do a good job. I would say they're doing a great job, but they're working on it to make this game better and last longer.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have it, guys. I'm just saying that, you know, that's what they said. I'm just giving you guys facts, right? Just facts and information to kind of back up so we can have the conversation. But I mean, I was the one pushing for 4-star Devilmon from years ago, man. And I was like, hey, best spot is RTA shop. I don't know how many emails, how many messages I've had, how many meetings I've had with them. I've always suggested it, and they've just still told me no, right? It doesn't even have to be a regular Devilmon. I just even said 4-star Devilmon. It's in Special League or RTA, and they've never put it in, right? To the point that they just said no Devilmons at all in there. So I was like, all right, I've just given up on it, I guess. But
Can I continue the thought?
oh yeah, I thought you were done. That Jeff was talking up to. Go ahead. You go on the next one.
So the reason I thought the Devilmon, it doesn't matter. Whatever incentive there is to play for something like that, right? I think that there should be weekly rewards that give a small amount of transmog stones, because transmogs are, first of all, extremely difficult to get. There are hundreds of them out there now. And they're honestly something that players like, right? Cosmetic, non-gameplay affecting things, right? Sure, maybe they change the times on your runs ever so slightly, but that's not a significant gameplay change. Something that engages players to want to be a certain rank every single week will deter farming. It won't entirely stop it. I mean, you'll never be able to entirely stop something unless you ban players who do it, right? But that's a dangerous route to take, and it's probably not something that will ever happen. Then the next thing that I wanted to suggest was the concept of replacements. So if you lose a ton of matches, or if you stop playing for like X period of time, instead of just deranking, you just have to redo your placements and start fresh.
Hey, you know what? I've had enough. You know what I mean? Yo, Zeratu, Zakal, all right? In chat right now. I see you guys all the time, man. Yeah, I'm fed up with this, and I'm speaking in behalf of like other content creators as well. If I have to say something, if it supports Com2uS or goes against it, I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I want to say, okay? Don't you ever come in here and judge me and make me feel subconscious about myself on the decisions of what I'm saying, right? If I want to say something good, I'll say something good. If I want to say something bad, I want to say something bad. But when you come to the stream, man, I'm always gonna say what I want, whatever the fuck I want, man, whether it's good or bad, right? And I hate people like you that do that to other content creators and make them second guess themselves, so they have to go, damn, I can't say this because this might sound good. And if it sounds good, I'm going to get some hate for it. I have to shit on Com2uS, right? We should all be able to speak our minds all the time, right? You're more than welcome to say in the stream, but please respect that, okay? And I'll always continue to say what I want, right?
None of us
always
are
a problem with the
under
community, man.
With Com2uS. You guys have to know this for
I fucking
fact.
wish.
I wish I was fucking good to play this fucking game.
Yeah.
We're all doing this out of our time, whether it's for a job for streaming or because for the sole love of this game. So first of all, that's very important. And Island, I know exactly how you feel right now, because
I'm telling you, you experience all the time. Yeah, we're not sponsored by them. Like I say a lot of shitty things, man. Right? If you have that opinion on things, and then you must be the same person going out that anybody that has any optimistic feel in the world, you just must shit on them and just call them fake, right? People that are just, you know, positive people in the world with positive mindsets, with that mentality. There's all sorts of different peoples and all sorts of opinions, man. For you to say that is so false, dude. Absolutely false, dude. Absolutely false. None of the content creators here get paid by them, man. The only thing we ever get, if anything, is they invite us to events and whatnot, right? That's it, right? We get to attend an event, right? They'll pay for our flight and hotel. That's awesome, which is I'm very gracious for. But that's it, man. That is it. So you just keep that in mind, right? Moving forward.
People always come in and they're like, why are you ranting about the game? Like, it sounds like you just hate the game. Why don't you just quit? And the reason that we're like passionate, it's different. We don't hate the game. We're discussing something and we're frustrated by something because we're passionate about the game. We love the game, and we honestly put our best foot forward for the game, right? We all have regular meetings with Com2uS CMs discussing things that you guys bring to us. If you really want to have a difference of opinion on a concept, you don't have to shit on the streamer or the community or anything. If you do that, you're honestly just an asshole and nobody wants to hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like if you have an issue with something that somebody's saying, bring it up. Bring it up like an opinion. Don't bring it up like, wow, that person must be wrong. They must be getting paid off. Like, you have no idea anything about us, anything about our jobs, anything about our lives. You only know what we share reasonably with you guys. And for the most part, most of us are very open about our lives. If you're going to come in and be an asshole, you're going to get shit on by the content creator. You're going to get shit on by the community, and nobody will listen to you ever again. Yeah. You know, I'm tired of it. I see it all the time. I stick up for these guys because, you know, people came into my stream yesterday talking about Jeff. They're like, I can't believe JMak's abusing the system. Like, you guys actually need to like stop and think for a second. Yeah. This is not an abuse of the system. This is a meme.
People don't think about it as a content creator. I think there's a lot of, I mean, even on your daily, right? There's a lot of, psychological things that go on. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that, factor into like mental health and whatnot, and things like that, man. They weigh on you, and it feels like I lose a bit of myself and who I am and what my actual opinion is when I start thinking about this too much. I'm thinking like, oh, maybe am I saying too much good things about Com2uS then? Maybe I gotta say some more bad things. You know what I mean? And that's not true to what I would want to say, right? It's just, it just sucks. But anyways, moving on, right? It's for anybody else in the chat as well, right? I just want to say it because I know you guys experience that as well from time to time on both ends. So
I'm quickly gonna say you guys don't know how
All right, everybody, man. Who cares about what they have to say? What you do, you man.
Island has
They
done
got
for the
problems with
community.
Orlando.
Island has done so much for the community. It's not even funny how much he has helped grow the game. And this is why we constantly come back and like do podcasts or even like just support the stream in general. So, but if you do have issues with the game and you want to be vocal about it, you can talk about it because we will bring it back to Com2uS to our best ability. If they do something about it, that's a different story on its own. It's their own. But we will always try to voice your opinion to Com2uS if we agree with it. If we don't agree with it, then you shit out of luck. But we just, it's all passion for the game. We love the game, right? We want to.
If Com2uS were to listen to what everybody has to say, this would be a shitty ass game. That's all I gotta say. You gotta keep going what they're doing. Keep going what you're doing. I'm gonna keep spending my money on it. Don't worry about it.
All right,
I don't care. I love the game.
Going back
I
to the
fucking
topic
love the game.
Now
this was not paid by nobody, bro. It was not paid by my visa. Get out of here, man.
True, bro. True. All right, going back to the topic here. So we did lay down a lot of like the issues with RTA, right? Let's start layering in. We got a little time left here. Let's limit to about like 10-15 more minutes here. But let's go ahead and layer in some solutions that we would like to see. Right? What are some hardcore solutions we can suggest? Because we got to start talking about it once again.
I got one.
All right, go ahead.
So you know that the 10-time battle, whenever you die, you should be able to restart it.
For RTA, Trokamoo. Okay, but yes. Okay, I agree. You're not wrong. Trokamoo.
I thought you said we're gonna move on to open discussion. The fourth is open discussion.
We're moving on to the solutions for the RTA issue. Sorry, I wasn't clear. Solutions to RTA.
Hey, you see?
That was funny.
Don't mess with the Puerto Rican man, okay?
I love you, dude.
I got some easy sosolutions.
Sure, go ahead.
Bit of it before, but to come to summarize, it was hard capping ranks. We spoke about this last time. Hard capping ranks based off your last season finish. So if you finished Guardian, you shouldn't be able to drop below Conqueror. You shouldn't be able to face players of a certain point range. Not rank range, but point range. Kind of limits who you can face. And your placements will be playing against players of at least that Conqueror range as well as you're making your way through. I don't even know if they even need placement if they go to that hard capping of ranks system. The next thing is removal of the auto button or limiting the use of the auto button to the point where you can only use it. Let's say if a unit dies off the battlefield, then you can kind of go, okay, well, giving a person the ability to hit the auto button if they want to still keep it. I'm personally of the view that an auto button should not exist in RTA. It is a player versus player real-time battle. There's really no need for an auto button there. Then the what was the last one that I had off the top of my head? So no, and then penalizing people who do not pick or play the game as well. So like letting it time out. If you hit a certain amount of missed turns, you get disqualified and you don't actually get a point for participating in that battle. And that also allows them to be able to introduce participation points for doing RTA. So like right now it's all well and good if they gave a point for losing an RTA fight, but I don't think that would work because people can just simply enter a fight and quit to get 1 point. Right now, if you disconnect in a fight, how often do people disconnect? Not that often. And if you do disconnect, how many turns do you really miss in the fight? And how many of those fights do you actually end up winning? So that's the kind of counter argument to...
I don't like that last statement. I don't like the last statement with the concept of if you disconnect, your chances to lose should basically just be invalidated. I think that's really, really bad, especially if you're in high level. I think that is something that's overly punishing. I think if you disconnect, you should very well be allowed to reconnect to the match.
Oh no, I'm saying you could definitely reconnect. I'm just saying if you, let's say, how many times do you reconnect and have missed 3 or 4 turns? I'm saying if we set a threshold of how many turns you miss.
I've definitely reconnected to missing like 10 turns and still won.
My phone has died. I've come back to a match like 2 minutes later after it charged up. So I gotta say something about that. I don't feel like like the outer bottom. Yes, that take that off because I think that's a little disrespectful. And I speak for myself just because I got out of one time. I got out of one time and I died too. I didn't. I lose. I was like, yes, baby, keep doing me like that. Come on, keep rocking. Let's go. I was like, yes, it was perfect. You know what I'm saying? And that was kind of disrespectful, and it kind of made me feel like I'm gonna, I don't know if you see this right here, but that's what happened that day. Anyways, but this disqualification about whatever, I think is just, I think they do good because if you miss a turn, it's so fast that it's just gonna keep going like that, and it's similar to auto, so it's gonna be the same shit.
Yeah, you can remove auto and still have the disconnect play auto as well, right? Can you do that? But just removing the auto button will automatically get rid of a shitload of people that goes in down because I've climbed up from the ranks before, so I've seen getting autoed. They're just farming for points, right? Just remove the fucking button.
Yeah, do we see any detriments to remove it? I don't think so, right? Like if you disconnect, it will auto for you, and if there's no auto there, is there a detriment? I'm trying to think. So they should just remove it. I mean, like, there's nothing.
Without the button, it doesn't matter though, right? Like,
no, I feel like
so removing it is good.
It really should be. If you miss 5 turns, disqualify right there. If you miss 5 turns, unless the game says disconnected. Like if you actually disconnect it, then that should give you the option of like you have to wait to disconnect back up. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like even with that, people are just gonna disconnect and just leave it. Let it happen.
No, so
it's gonna be the same shit.
It should be no auto button, and when you disconnect, I don't think after a certain amount of turns it should end the match. It has to keep going, so that if somebody wants to smurf and they're thinking 5 hit, they're like, oh, I can't press auto, I'm just gonna log off, and then after that, a minute later, log back in, and the match is over, and I lost. You know what I mean? So we don't want the match to disconnect.
45 seconds.
We want the whole match.
Log back on.
You just want the whole match to play out. You just want the whole match to play out. So if somebody wants to auto you, and they have to disconnect and stay off, and who knows how long until the match is done.
They won't even do it because it takes
too much work.
You know how much fucking work it is to quit out the game and leave it there? Oh, log back in. Oh, shit, I'm still in the game. Let's log back out. But just removing the auto button automatically, it makes people not want to do it anymore because it makes no sense. Their 30 wins on auto will take fucking 6 hours. They can fucking farm instead, right? So removing that will already remove a shitload of people to begin with.
Second thing I think they should remove. They should remove the press X at the top left to end the match. If you queue into RTA, I'm sorry, you're committed to the one match right there. Right? Just the same way you're queued into a league. But like I was saying, if you're queued into a match, you should be into playing the whole match, no matter what. Yeah, you have to finish the whole match, no matter what. Just like League of Legends, if you queue in, you're in. You know what I mean?
Well, you can forfeit.
Yeah, you can't. No, but you'd have to surrender. But that's because the match is longer. But if you queue into an RTA match, I mean, what is a couple minutes of your time, right? So I think you should be committed all the way. No X button to get out. What are your thoughts?
Do you mean just in draft or the whole thing?
The whole thing. Yeah. The whole thing. For the moment the match is found.
For the sake of losing points, you see me do it, right? Dump it. But I do not mind. Or maybe just incorporate a few things. Not necessarily what you just said, but no auto button. Hard cap on certain points, but that's a very weird place to play because there's seasons where you end G1, you might be stuck in C2 the next season due to meta changes. So that's a really awkward thing to play, I think. But there's gotta be a fucking balance, right? Like maybe if I ended G3 last season, I can't go under I can't go under Conqueror. And that's the cap, right?
Yeah.
Well, you have to find the balance between that.
You gotta find the right wall area. You gotta find the right wall area.
I like that. I like that idea though. Yeah.
So it's a little bit of balance of both. Like I said, everyone here does a decent amount of wings, and we see the problems. So that's why someone in chat earlier was like, "Oh, these people aren't in Conquer. They don't know how it feels to be down there." But we do. We see a lot of issues, and we can think about it because we do a lot of RTA. And these are just suggestions that we're kind of throwing out. But there's still so many different ways to approach it.
Actually, come to think of it now, with the exit out, it might be bad because let's say somebody's trying to be toxic and they're trying to rope you, you know what I mean, and play out the whole thing, and you can't leave and you're stuck. Yeah, so maybe that X out, maybe just don't let somebody X out immediately after
just don't X out in drafts.
During drafts, yeah. But maybe the match, how you have to be able to leave when you want to leave, just because of somebody being toxic and roping you. That's true. I didn't think about that. That's why we bring it up so we can discuss, right? But yeah,
that's the whole point of it, right? Yeah. So, like I said, and maybe all of this is solved by, like we mentioned earlier, is adding rewards for you staying at a certain rank each week. Maybe if you stay at most of the people who are farming RTA is either for the points or for to buy the transmog stone. Why not make it something like and scrolls? Why not make it each week? If you end at a certain rank, you get a bonus part of points to buy something like that and a couple transmog stone. From then on, people want to stay in like pretend, let's say Guardian 1. They get an extra 300 points for these numbers are arbitrary, so it doesn't matter. But something like that, make it a reason for them to stay at a rank, and I think that would solve most of these problems. Not fully, but in a way.
There is just no incentive. Like,
there's no incentive.
Every week, do I want to just play the same meta thing every single week for 3 weeks for 3 months, or do I want to just change my draft every week? Right? Every week I change my draft. Sometimes my draft ends up being C1 tier and it's weak. Sometimes it's G1, G2 tier and it's great. It's like an amazing pocket pick thing I've never thought about before. But like, there are definitely times where if it's either just don't play because you're bored of the meta, play because you want to bash your head against a table and do the same thing over and over, or pick something that's weaker and then get flamed for like playing something weaker.
Yeah, so I think the implementation, like, what do you guys feel about this implementation of like the rank lock, right? As well as the implementation of, taking away the auto button and the implementation of better rewards for incentives for people to play, maybe on the weekly or for at least the entirety of the season to aim for at the end, right? Need to be implemented at the same time, right? Because let's say you implement rewards, right? I think there's going to be imbalance and issues still. If you implement the rankings where people are capped from ranks, I think you're going to see inactivity and longer queues, which is a problem as well. These need to be implemented simultaneously at the same time, the rewards and the rank caps, right?
I had a couple other things as well, which was right now the top 10% of players get like an item to remember the season by, except for like I don't really consider the ride as something that is kind of exclusive for a season anymore, because it's kind of like get to fighter 1 and you get that ride. I was thinking, what about if they introduced another rank between, let's say, fighter and conqueror, and that was the band from like 11% to like top 30%, and then they introduced the auras as the reward for that, and then they introduced a 4-star RTA skin for Conqueror, and then the Guardians still have the 5-star skin. And then the other component to that was introducing like a season-long participation / like battle pass system where if you do a certain amount of wings in the season, you can unlock rewards of certain ranks, except for like maybe the Guardian skin. Let's say if you do 500 wings in the season, you get rewarded one of the special 4-star skins. But then you can kind of get like other things on the way up doing your 500 wings as well for a season. So introducing like participation reward.
Yeah, I like the participation rewards, but it's tough, right? Because in participation rewards, lazy people, right? They're going to go in, exit out, go in, exit out. And that's just what RTA becomes, right? And then secondly, with like, there's always pros and cons, you know what I mean? That's why that's why I'm saying this is a lot tougher than it seemes. It's a lot tougher than it seems, but we got to keep these suggestions coming. Go ahead, Jeff.
I said this previously about participation reward, but rather make it like maybe 1 week. Each week you have to win at least 5 RTA matches, something like that, forcing people to play and actually try. 5 wins is not hard with 150 wings. I would assume you should be able to get 1 win a day no matter what rank you are. You're never gonna get because by doing that, it forces people not to just go in and quit and actually try a little bit. So maybe that's not a bad idea. That's what I feel, at least.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just feel like if Com2uS could give it more stuff and more stuff and more stuff, the game is just gonna become boring, and then it's just gonna be too easy. I feel like the less they give, the more you want to try to get. So I don't see that much problems with RTA, if you want me to be honest with you.
That's why you give a little bit. You give a little bit, right?
If they give
People
us more
ask for a lot,
aesthetics.
and you give a little.
Yeah, I think if they give aesthetic stuff, there's nothing wrong
they
with
give
it.
us a lot already. What do you mean? We got free. You know how happy it makes me that I can just switch my runes for free and not waste mana and just try new things.
Yeah,
Come on, man. They keep giving you stuff. There's a lot of different stuff. I just feel like, the more you give, the more they want. So
Yeah.
It's always going to be like that,
It's always
regardless,
gonna be
right?
like that.
Even if you don't give, people are still going to want.
You're
So
right,
like,
you're
I don't
right.
know.
People
You can
still
turn that
play-
argument around in the opposite direction. You can say the more you give, the more that they want. You can also say like the less you give, the more they want, and it's just like the same argument turned around. It makes no difference.
Not as much though. The less you give, the more they want. isn't as much sometimes because people get accustomed and used to what it is, right? So they know the limitations, so they might want it, but the expectation is not there, right? When you give more, the expectation gets higher. So, but I see what you mean. It's not truly false, right? But the expectation.
The concept is too pigeonholed. Everyone's always like, it's this is the issue. It's like, no, these are the issues. It's
Right.
like this is the issue, and it's more like there are 5 or like 10 issues. And the problem is you can't solve one without the other one. You need to do them together. It's like balance patching, right? Like balance patching, they buff one unit to counter something else, but it's like they needed to change 2 things at once to make things fair and reasonable.
Right.
And they never do that.
So
I feel like sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, so Lucky, going back to like the ranks then, if we do some kind of rank lock, you know what I mean? They hit that rank from a previous season, they're locked. One of the I'm just thinking of devil's advocate, right? The cons.
Of course.
Is that gonna make people want to do RTAs less then? Because they hit it and then now I'm done. You know what I mean? I no longer have to do it anymore. You know, so like I'm trying to.
I mean, it should be to the point where like, players. I think if you finish Guardian, going down to Conqueror is kind of a reasonable dropping point. I don't think you'll obviously players fall from, let's say, Guardian to like Fighter from one season to the next, even if there is a massive change to the balance patch, just due to rune quality, right?
Right.
People should be able to get to Guardian because of that. And I think if you set a wall at a reasonable point, and that's something for them to figure out, right? Find out where
what they need to do is short the RTA time. That's what they need to do. Instead of 3 months, make it a month and a half or 2 months, and then
I think that
now you gotta play.
I think
now you gotta play.
suggestion too.
So if you change the time and then you actually take a month off, so actually people can farm and get better for next season instead of having 3 months and then a week and then 3 months again. That's what makes it exhausting for a lot of people. So I feel like, remember when we actually did 2 months? It was so easy and nice.
I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? So that I think that's what I think if you do that, then people actually have to be, okay, shit, now I got, instead of I can wait at 2 months and then just wait for the month. Now you have to wait less and actually climb because it's such a little time. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the biggest problem in my opinion. It's just so long, 3 months. You know, like it's like, I mean, I did it when I climbed and I got my highest ranked. I did like almost 18 something, like over 1,000, like close to 2,000 matches. Yeah. You know, and I was on it all day, man. And I got a higher rank, but I feel like shorter the time is gonna make it more special than playing for so long.
I agree with that. It's either that or you introduce like maybe rewards, like decent rewards for every month during that season as well. So it kind of forces you to get to a certain rank. But I think if they shorten it, they might have to revert back to the old point system because then it rewards actually doing wings every day as well. Otherwise, you get like an issue of climbing the last week.
What about this though? Like I know there's gonna be some cons to it. I'm sure you guys will think of it here, but let's say if your account has hit Guardian before, right? The amount of points that you can farm at a lower rank, because your account is considered a Guardian account, right? Which is easy for them to implement and recognize per account. You just can't get points anymore for farming those low rank players. I mean, is it that bad that we don't get those points?
It's not a bad idea, but it's also for people who are washed up. It's a cap. You need to find that cap, right? I think it's a very good idea, but if you do end up being washed up, and I've seen Guardian players who are hard stuck comp now, so they got to find a cap where they can swing upside down, and make it still worth it for them to try their best in the future. Otherwise, they'll just quit RTA completely.
Right, but I'm saying like if you were Guardian before, like let's say G1, right? Even if you're playing like some Conquerors, there could be a threshold. You're still gonna get points. But if you're gonna go like C1, right?
Yeah.
Or like Fighter 3, like you shouldn't get any points then anymore then. You know what I mean? Like, because there's no way your disparity is that bad. Like if you're playing a C3, you know what I mean? Maybe get points. If you want to be a little bit, stricter, C2, you still don't get any points because you're a G1, right? I think that would cut the incentive of smurfing, right? I think if the more you can punish these people that are smurfing, the more the better it's gonna be, because it's gonna start relighting that energy and that kind of fun that people have in RTA in the lower ranks to be okay. Like, hey, this environment I'm playing in, I'm safer, right? There's gonna be less issues when I'm playing. I think that's a big issue right now, is they just don't feel like playing because of that. So
yep, I agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Very nice. I mean, we kind of went a little bit overtime today, but I think this topic is, as you can see, this can branch so many ways. There's so many suggestions. There's so many pros and cons that can come into it, but I think this is going to be a podcast topic that we're going to continue to talk about. Now, we've talked about a lot in the past, like year or so, but I think we're going to make this a weekly one, right? So we can continue to elaborate, and we want to push it, right? I feel like the more we push a particular thing, whether it's quality of life or, buffs and nerfs, it actually, you know, makes an impact, because I believe Com2uS listens to these and they do watch these. So we'll continue to have this topic every single podcast. It'll be a last topic of every single podcast moving forward here, right? But thank you guys for your time. I know it was a little bit longer podcast. I told you guys about an hour and a half. It was actually about an hour and a half here. But if you guys are watching on YouTube, leave your comments down below. Give us some of your suggestions. I love reading it. It's like awesome to read the comments down there, and we'll read it and we'll talk about some of the different suggestions you might come up with for the future podcast, right? We're gonna tackle this problem. We're gonna fix it, and hopefully make RTA a lot more enjoyable for everybody. And yeah,
come talk with us. Just be respectful about it, right? If you disagree,
Yeah.
you can disagree, but don't be an asshole. It's not that hard.
If who's is watching, please like fix that 10-time, bro, because I don't like wasting my D-hole energy when I die. Please.
Yeah,
a waste.
I know what you're talking about.
Crystals, right?
Yeah.
I had to get that extra blue rune. You know what I'm saying? Come on, please don't make me die.
Yeah, Giano there is talking about when you do dimensional hole runs. If you fail, it just fails. You don't get that chance for 10 revive, right? It should allow you to 10 revive. Okay, but that's what he's
Just need
talking
to
about.
make that team a bit better, Giano.
Yeah,
That's all you need to do.
SWC world champion here, world contestant. Can't even do dimensional hole. Wait a minute. I'm just kidding.
Listen, my girl's mad at me because I stretched her wig now because I have such a big head. You need to buy me.
All right, man. Yo, thank you guys all for joining the podcast today. We're going to put the links to all their stream down below. Everybody here streams, even Giano here, right? You might make some appearances on some of the streams. But I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out, YouTube.
Peace.
Bye, guys. Good podcast today. Thank you.